Good morning everyone, and thank you for coming along. It's lovely to see you. Good to see new people today. So welcome to my singing session. We always start off with hello everyone, it's time to sing. Hello everyone, it's time to sing. Hello everyone, it's time to sing. Join me in my songs, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when the skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed of you holding by my side. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken. So I hung my head and I cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Well, you once told me you really love me, and no one else could come between. But now you've left me to love another, and you've shattered all my dreams. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. Well, that's blown the cobwebs off, hasn't it? So now it's time for some exercise. And over the few weeks before I went away, we shirked our exercise because it was so hot, wasn't it? It was balmy weather. So we just sang songs where we had to remember things. So it's back to exercise this morning. So you'll have to forgive me. So I'll tell you what, we'll do one of our favourite ones. I'll just put the guitar down. Oops. So I'll move this as well. So this is me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I thought this morning we do the one where we have to do actions and we talk about if we weren't upon the stage like the superstars that you are, we do some
Jack and
dance.
Ball was the captain.
So it goes like this. If I was not upon the stage, something else I'd rather be. If I was not upon the stage, a bus conductor I would be. And as I go along, you would hear me sing this song. Any more fares, please, any more fares, please, move along the bus. Any more fares, please, any more fares, please, move along the bus. If I was not upon the stage, something else I'd rather be. If I was not upon the stage, a washerwoman I would be. And as I go along, you would hear me sing this song. Wishy-washy, wishy-washy, hanging out the clothes. Wishy-washy, wishy-washy, hanging out the clothes. Any more fares, please, any more fares, please, move along the bus. Any more fares, please, any more fares, please, move along the bus. If I was not upon the stage, something else I'd rather be. If I was not upon the stage, a fireman I would be. And as I go along, you would hear me sing this song. Get the ladder, get the hose and put the fire out. Get the ladder, get the hose and put the fire out. Wishy-washy, wishy-washy, hanging out the clothes. Wishy-washy, wishy-washy, hanging out the clothes. Any more fares, please, any more fares, please, move along the bus. Any more fares, please, any more fares, please, move along the bus. If I was not upon the stage, something else I'd rather be. If I was not upon the stage, a policeman I would be. And as I go along, you would hear me sing this song. Evening all, stop right there. Move along, you lot. Evening all, stop right there. Move along, you lot. Get the ladder, get the hose and put the fire out. Get the ladder, get the hose and put the fire out. Wishy-washy, wishy-washy, hanging out the clothes. Wishy-washy, wishy-washy, hanging out the clothes. Any more fares, please, any more fares, please, move along the bus. Any more fares, please, any more fares, please, move along the bus. Oh, well. Hey, we haven't lost our fitness, have we?
Encore!
Yeah, the World Cup's coming up, you know, we could get in one of the teams, yeah, if we're fit. Right, get me guitar again. Right, so we'll have a little medley of songs that I know that the three young men over here like anyway. I think Dennis likes this one. Oh, April showers, they come your way. They bring the flowers that bloom in May. So if it's raining, I don't regret. happening. I'll forget the second page if I don't do it. Grab your coat and get your hats. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear the pitter pats? And that happy tune is your step. Life can be mountains on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This road crossed over. If I ever had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This road crossed over. If I ever had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. On the sunny side of the street. Where's that? On the sunny side of the street. Oh, that's I think for next time we might put We'll Gather Lilacs up a key. It was a little bit Lee Marvin, wasn't it? When you're practising in your front room at home, it doesn't seem so bad. Because the soft furnishings absorb everything. I've got the cushions. Anyway, I'll just file those.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
then.
Yeah.
You get music.
Yeah.
Do you get music when we tell you?
Yes. Yeah.
I've got the songs in the wrong order in my head, so I just do them in the order that they're there.
Oh, yeah.
These two go together.
French
Oh, yes. Be feeling. Frankie.
We were sailing along, we were sailing along, on Moonlight Bay, on Moonlight Bay. I could hear the people singing. They seem to say, you have stolen my heart, you have stolen my heart. Now don't go away. And as we sang those sweet old songs on Moonlight Bay, might even get that line right sometime. We were sailing along, we were sailing along on Moonlight Bay, on Moonlight Bay. We could hear the people singing. They seem to say, you have stolen my heart, you have stolen my heart. Now don't go away. As we sang those old sweet songs on Moonlight Bay. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, never let it fade away. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, save it for a rainy day. All love may come and tap you on the shoulder one starless night. And just in case you feel you wanna hold her, you've got a pocket full of starlight, pocket full of starlight. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, never let it fade away. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, save it for a rainy day. For when your troubles start to multiplying, and they just might, it's easy to forget them without trying. With just a pocket full of starlight, pocket full of starlight. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, never let it fade away. Catch a falling star and super moon, didn't we? It was absolutely beautiful in the sky. And I always say, if you know there's a super moon coming up, I'll give you one, and the next one's next July. So you've got time to save up your train fare and get on a train to Saltburn and watch the moon coming up behind Huntcliffe. It's absolutely amazing. I didn't see it this year. I saw it a few years ago when I went to a firework display there, and everyone was gathered for the fireworks, and they said, well, we have to wait till it gets dark, which seems quite sensible really, doesn't it? Because you won't see a thing. And then the moon came up behind the cliffs, and after that the fireworks were rubbish. Because the moon just outdid it completely. Absolutely bright orange it was, but massive. It looked as though it was just going to knock us out. So if you wanted to frighten yourself as well, just go and have a look at this moon. So, but it's not an orange moon that we're singing about in this next song, it's a blue one. I may have misled you there. I may have just done that.
You should be right hand.
I'll still sit up here so that see me on the camera. It does worry me that the phone has to be turned sideways to get me on, and I really must go on and die.
It's a windy day.
Never mind. That's life, isn't it?
With maybe,
If someone goes to the bother of making chocolate, how can I insult by not eating it? That's my philosophy on life. So, and you know when they do 2 for 1, someone's made it for me. Someone's packaged it together. Anyway, so this is the song. Are you ready, lads? You ready, Red? Are you ready over here? Alright, Dennis. You ready to sing? So, this song's called Kookaburra. Alright, and it just goes, Kookaburra sits in an old gum tree. Give that a go. Kookaburra sits in an old gum tree. Try it again. Kookaburra sits in an old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Try it again. Merry, merry king of the bush we've got Kookaburra sits in an old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Give that a go. Kookaburra sits in an old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. And then it goes, laugh, Kookaburra, laugh, Kookaburra gay, your life must be. Try that bit. Laugh, Kookaburra, laugh, Kookaburra gay, your life must be. Once more. Laugh, Kookaburra, laugh, Kookaburra gay, your life must be. So right from the beginning it goes like this. Kookaburra sits in an old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Laugh, Kookaburra, laugh, Kookaburra gay, your life must be. One more time. Kookaburra sits in an old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Laugh, Kookaburra, laugh, Kookaburra gay, your life must be. One more time. Kookaburra sits in an old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Laugh, Kookaburra, laugh, Kookaburra gay, your life must be. Now then, I'm going to start this side off and just see how far you go. And then I'll bring this side, but I'll keep bouncing back. Don't worry, anything could happen. So I'm sure Alison will help, how's it? Normally we have our maestro Beth here, our violinist, but she's got shifts at work that I think it's because it's holiday time, and so she's had to do the last 3 Wednesdays and might have to do next week as well. But she will be back. But I'll tell you what, if we can do this by the time she's back, I wasn't going to say that. Hey, we can do it. We've got to think positive, and I don't want you to say, you know, I'm positive that we're not going to be able to do it. That doesn't work, alright? So don't forget, it's Kookaburra sits in an old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Laugh, Kookaburra, laugh, Kookaburra gay, your life must be. So this side, ready? Kookaburra sits in an old gum tree. Keep going. Kookaburra sits in an old gum tree. Laugh, Kookaburra, laugh, Kookaburra gay, your life must be. Brilliant, oh yeah. Kookaburra sits in an old gum tree. Kookaburra sits in an old gum tree. Laugh, Kookaburra, laugh, Kookaburra gay, your life must be. Gay, your life must be. Well, we nearly got there, didn't we? Fantastic! Fantastic. The words. Yeah, we used to sing that in school. So let's see, I'd be about 12 when we learned that, and I'm 21 now. Yeah, a few times. So by the time that you're 62 as well, you'll know it. Anyway, we'll do one that you definitely all know.
Next week, can we do an easy one? When do we start the Christmas? It must be soon. I mean, it's September tomorrow.
Well, it is, and I'm sure the shops are full of Christmas goods already.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you see, I'm a bit anti-Halloween because it's an Americanism. Can I say that on? No, the shops are, what can we make money out of? And everyone has to have a pumpkin now. Do you remember Halloween? We used to have a turd, and it used to take you a week to dig it out with a spoon, didn't it? But when you put your candle in, didn't it smell nice? As it was cooking. It's sadly, no, I won't go into the next story, but you know, once you've digested it, it's not as good. I think, as Bob Dylan said, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. We won't go there. Yeah, and we weren't allowed to go to anyone else's house except for someone that you knew who also had kids. Where now, they're almost coming in the cars and parking outside, aren't they? And seeing what they can get. And the look on the faces when you say, right, well, that's one sweetie for you and one for you. And I know you're 25 and you were expecting money. But yeah, so I'm not a fan of Halloween. I always managed to be away for Halloween, which was good. I used to go on a singing trip, which had the wonderful name of the Shires of Pight, so be careful what you say. Yeah, you have to be very careful, very careful. We used to go to Northern Ireland at the last weekend in October, because the idea was that on the Saturday night the clocks went back, so you got an extra hour for your singing session. But then as we all got older, that hour was for sleeping. It caught up with us. So, but we'll have some scary songs when we get to Halloween, and I'll take the bag off my head and show you what I really look like at Halloween. So, never mind. But I've just been to Ireland. I don't know if I mentioned it 20 times already. So I thought we'd do a song that we can have a good shout at. So you've got to sell your cockles and muscles. See what Molly Malone wants to sell. You decide, but we need to clear the barrow. In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone. She wheeled her wheelbarrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. But she was a fish monger, and that was no wonder, for so were her mother and father before, and they both wheeled their barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Well, she died of a fever, and no one could save her, and that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. Now a ghost wheels her barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Oh, well, so. Do you know what? We did clear that barrel. We got rid of everything off there. Anyway, we're going to do one of Jeff's favourite songs now. But I've got one of those watches that keeps telling you to do things. It's just told me to breathe. What does it think I was doing? You know, anyway. Tells me it's good for you, evidently. Anyway, if we had a hammer, what would we do with it, Jeff? We'd hammer in the morning, wouldn't we? If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out a warning, I'd hammer 78 after a long illness. She sang some brilliant songs. Just, the one I was going to sing, another line's come in my head, so let me just get my head up. You know, you're working with an idiot here. You do realise.
Because you had 2 weeks off, isn't it?
No, it's because I'm an idiot. I wish it was because I had 2 weeks off. So,
That's not working out.
close the door like a light. We're staying home tonight, far away from the bustle and the bright city lights. Let them all fade away. Just leave us alone, and we live in a world of our own. We'll build a world of our own that no one else can share. All our sorrows we leave far behind us there, and I know you will find there'll be peace of mind when we live in a world of our own. Oh my love, I've cried for you so much. Lonely nights without sleeping, when I long for your touch. Now these lips can erase the heartache I know. Come with me to the world of our own. We'll build a world of our own that no one else can share. All our sorrows will leave far behind us there, and I know you will find there'll be peace of mind when we live in a world of our own. And I know you will find there'll be peace of mind when we live in a world of our own. Now then, I like songs that have a local connection because it can bring back some good memories, and this one has a memory linked to a pub. Now, I know for a fact there's a lot of people who can't remember anything once they've left a pub, but this song, again, you'll have sung it when you were at school. It was in Something to Sing But One. I can't remember what the number was, but when I first started teaching music, this was one of the songs that the kids, I'm not going to say where I was teaching, but it was a bit of a rough area, you know, the dogs walked around in twos. It was a bit like that. And quite seriously, you would have, I loved the kids, they were absolutely brilliant kids. But there'd be someone missing from your lesson for 3 months, and it was because they'd been caught stealing cars. They were what we called twackers, taking without owner's consent, which made it sound like a posh crime, really, didn't it? But these kids, you know, 14, 15-year-old would sit in front of you and sing at the top of their, you know, the voices. Absolutely brilliant. And the one thing that they used to sing, apart from folk songs, was they would sing hymns in assembly. Now, we used to sing really old-fashioned hymns, like We Plough the Fields and Scatter, Fight the Good Fight, When a Knight Won His Spurs. Yeah, it's and the kids would sing at the top of the voices, and there was an RE teacher called Dave Elliott. He was brilliant. He used to stand on the stage and he'd say, first year's verse 1. So all the firsties in, all the nice little voices would sing verse 1. And then he'd say, teachers, verse 2. And then the teachers, of course, were rubbish. And he'd say, teachers, sing that again. So the teachers had to sing it again. And I was lucky, I was just playing the piano, which was on casters. Have you ever played the piano on casters? If you had a fast hymn, I used to have to get the kids to lean against it, otherwise they were halfway across the... and then he'd say, 5th year, so that's the big rough lads, 16-year-old, verse 3. And they would sing at the top with their shoulders back and their chest out. Do you know, it was beautiful. And I used to think, if only you could stay out of prison long enough, you'd actually have a good career in singing. It would have been a fantastic point. But joking apart, the kids from there achieved great things. The odds were against them. You know, they lived in real poverty. In some of the streets there was 90% unemployment. You know, and you just, it was awful really. And it wasn't too far away from here. But one of the songs that they always loved to sing was this next one. And it's My Grandfather's Clock. And they sang it at the top of the voices. Now the story of the grandfather's clock comes from Peace Bridge, just outside of Darlington, and the George Hotel, or the George Pub, which I think closed. I'm not sure whether it's reopened after COVID. I'm not sure if the clock is still there, but that's where the song was written. And I think it was twins that owned the pub, two blokes. The song is by Henry Clay Work, I've got on here, and I'm not quite sure what the connection was, whether he was one of the twins or whether he was someone who knew them. But, and it's supposed to be a true story, that the clock went perfectly until the day that the owner died. Well, it would, because he was the one that used to wind it up. I'm not being funny, but it is true, isn't it? But anyway, so see how much you can remember. My grandfather's clock was too tall for the shelf, so it stood 90 years on the floor. It was taller by half than the old man himself, though it weighed not a penny weight more. It was bought on the morn of the day that he was born, and was always his pleasure and his pride. But it stopped short, never to go again, when the old man died. 90 years will have stumbling, tick-tock, tick-tock, his life seconds numbering, tick-tock, tick-tock, but it stopped short, never to go again, when the old man died. In watching its pendulum swing to and fro, many hours had he spent whilst a boy. And through childhood and manhood the clock seemed to know, and to share both his troubles and his joy. For it struck 24